doing it right. Everybody will be dancing and we feeling it right. Everybody will be dancing and be doing it right. Everybody will be dancing.
Hey everyone, Happy New Year. I hope you are ready to get your year started. All you New Year's resolutioners out there, getting more fit and active and everything. Just do not leave the gyms by February because that always happens and it's not a good thing. With your New Year's resolution, many of you are probably wanting to lose weight and get healthier, and something that's so important with that is lifting. So many girls are afraid to lift because they don't want to get bulky and look big and look like men, but trust me, that's not going to happen. It's just going to make you look better. I'm here to tell you how I started lifting and maybe give you some hints on how to start lifting yourself. This is geared towards everyone. A lot of girls will hopefully get some stuff out of this, but I hope everyone can. So I'm going to start off with telling you how I started lifting. Whenever I was in about 8th grade, I started working out a little bit more. I played softball and I would condition with the team, and we did different types of exercises with conditioning and things like that. So I got a little feel of it there, but I never really developed it into a habit yet. And then whenever I got into the summer of 8th grade, I started running more. And then finally in 9th grade, there was a day whenever I was just crying. I did not feel good about myself, didn't feel good about my body. I was like, I'm trying so hard. I think I'm eating healthy. I'm running all the time. Why is nothing changing? So then my dad was like, you should probably start lifting or something, or doing a little bit more, eating a little bit cleaner, and then you will see results. And I was like, well, lifting, like, I don't want to look like a man. I don't want to look like, no. And of course, he knew that I would not take his word for it or his tips on lifting, because I didn't realize that guys and girls can really lift the same. Like, it's fine, you can do it. And then he just was like, all right, I know you're not going to listen to me. So I started working with a trainer at our local gym. My goal in mind was that I wanted to lose fat and gain muscle, which is pretty much everyone's goal. My original split with my trainer was something along the lines of doing cardio 6 days a week for 30 minutes each. And then I started out with lifting 3 days a week. So I did an upper body day, a lower body day, and then a combined upper and lower body day. Eventually, as I got into it more, I think I started lifting 5 to 6 days a week. And I'm not gonna lie, I did go overboard a bit, but you know, that's life. So, which exercise can be obsessive, and I'm gonna caveat everything with that. You don't want it to take over your life. You do want it to supplement your life. You want it to make you happier, to make your body better. And you are going to have to make sacrifices in order to go to the gym, but at the same time, you don't want to sacrifice everything, because your mental health and relationships with people are so much more important than making it to the gym. Eventually, as I went through high school, I started lifting more, and I even did like a half marathon. I just did different types of fitness things. I would go to yoga with my mom. I did exercise tapes, and I just kind of immersed myself in the whole fitness culture. And then I went to college and I studied kinesiology, which is the science of movement, and I'm still in college now, and it's the absolute greatest major, and I absolutely love it. And I got to learn so much more about fitness and your body and what to do and what not to do through this major. But then whenever I was in my second semester of my freshman year, I had a roommate who was also into fitness as well, and she encouraged me to do a bodybuilding competition, or she was doing bikini and I decided I wanted to do figure. So I started training then, and that's whenever I really started trying to gain muscle. And it was just like week by week, I would write different workouts and try to increase my volume in weights each week. So I was growing muscle, and then I finally started listening to my dad, which was a smart plan, because he actually started showing me how he lifted, and it helped me really gain muscle. So that was pretty cool. So that whole summer I prepped, and then I finally competed in August, and that was an awesome experience, and loved it, and just it was awesome. So ever since then, I've been really lifting heavy, not necessarily eating cleaner, just paying more attention to what I eat and doing what fits for my body. And then I did another show the following year in May, and I did the bikini category, and that was an awesome experience as well. And then I'm doing another couple this summer, and I'm so excited. Being able to see my body change for the better, and lifting is a huge part of that. It's so cool to see how you can change your body and just look at it week by week and be like, wow, I've done this and this, and it's really awesome. But lifting is so important, and I encourage you to do it. It's gonna change your metabolic rate. Usually whenever you have more lean tissue on you, your metabolism goes faster so you can eat more. It will help against injury, it helps your bone health as well, and it also keeps you from looking like a limp noodle, and you can shape your physique and look wonderful. So some of my tips for you that I've learned through my experience is something that was really good that I had at the beginning was a trainer. It is something that's not necessary, but she really helped and taught me the proper ways to do certain exercises and how to pair up certain exercises and movements in order to achieve some progress. Even if it's just like a boyfriend, a friend, a dad, or something, someone who knows what they're doing that can show you the proper ways to execute these movements is so beneficial. And if you go to a gym, if there's trainers there, if they're not working with anyone, they should be free to show you how to do a certain thing. If you ask them, what is the proper way for me to squat, they should be able to help you with that. A quote that I really like in the fitness field or whenever you're training someone is start low, go slow. So if it's your first time starting to lift, don't go into the gym trying to squat 200 pounds. Probably not going to happen. You're probably going to fail. You might get injured and your pride will be hurt. So just don't do it. Doing something that is slow, like start low, go slow. So even if your goal is just to get into the gym for 30 minutes and lift for those 30 minutes, you've still improved because you're doing more than you did before. So do movements that are a little simpler, that will still give you results, but aren't necessarily going to injure you if you don't know how you're doing them. You can also get ideas for certain movements and exercises and workouts from bodybuilding.com. They have this huge database. You can literally click on the muscle that you want to work, and it will give you all these different exercises, their ratings, how you do them, and it'll show you videos. And I think that is a huge resource if you want to start lifting. And you can pair things weekly by like the body parts. So if you want to do a split of 3 days a week, how I really liked the upper body, lower body, and then combined upper and lower body together, that kind of split. You can do things like that. You can do a push-pull kind of split where you're doing all push movements one day, which is your chest, shoulders, and tries, pull movements, back and bis, and then legs. Or you can even do chest and back. There's so many different things you can do. And you just kind of have to find what works for you, and even switch it up if you're doing something for maybe like 8 weeks, maybe switch it up and just experiment and see what's best for you. On bodybuilding.com, you can even find beginner workouts, intermediate workouts, different types of squat cycle workouts that you want to do, different things like that. If you're doing compound movements, mainly like bench, squat, deadlift, like the typical powerlifting movements, you do want to be careful if you don't know what you're doing. Sometimes risk outweighs reward, and if you're not doing the exercise right or lifting too much weight when you're not ready, you can get injured, which will just hinder all of your progress. So you really want to be careful with that. Something that you might not want to hear is that, or you might want to hear this, that you should, if you want to gain muscle, you should cut back on the cardio a little bit, obviously depending on how much you do. It depends on you, like how much your body can take, but essentially cardio is going to break down your fat, but it's also going to break down your muscle. So you want to be very careful, and you don't want to do too much of it if you're trying to gain muscle. I promise you, lifting heavy will not make you bulky, or just lifting in general won't make you bulky unless you're eating a lot, too much, and you're not accounting for it and not burning it off. Then you're going to be gaining too much weight, and then you're going to also have fat where you're gaining muscle, then you will get the bulky look. So you should be careful with that, but honestly, lifting itself will just make you look better, and you're going to increase your metabolic rate with that increased lean tissue. So many things with fitness are individual, and many girls think that in order to tone, which essentially is just having less body fat and more lean tissue, that they need to do a certain amount of reps, like 12 to 15 reps. In order to gain muscle, it's going to be that, I think, like 5 to 8 rep range. In all honesty, in order to gain muscle, you just need to overload what you've been doing before. So whether, just like overload the volume. So whether it's reps, sets, more weight, as long as you're doing more, you're gonna be overloading it, and you're gonna have more potential to build muscle. Where the toning comes into play is that they don't have as much body fat on them. So that's gonna come from getting your heart rate up and burning calories essentially. And you can honestly do that lifting heavy. Like I know if I'm going into squat, like even if it's 3 reps, if it's a heavy weight, I'm exerting a lot of energy, therefore burning a lot of calories. Maybe even more than I would if I was squatting less weight and doing like 8 to 10 reps. It just totally depends on the volume that you're doing. To say for beginners, I would definitely not go too heavy on the weight until you get your form down correctly. You don't want to injure yourself. If you keep the weight light, you can really focus on your technique more, and over time, muscle memory will come into play, and then you'll be able to increase the weight more. Because a lot of your strength, if you're going to start lifting, just to let you know, the first like 6 weeks, you may not see much progress. It's going to be mainly neurological. So there's different connections that are made in your brain that go onto your muscles in order to do different movements, and just that muscle memory comes into play. And then eventually you will start seeing some more hypertrophy, which is increase in muscle size. So you just need to be patient with that and let that run its course, and you're good to go. Also, don't be afraid to go in the free weight section. A lot of girls are like, oh no, that's where the boys are. I don't want to go over there. Like, no, they're going to look at me. Honestly, just sometimes you just got to suck it up and you got to go in there. Because after a while, no one really cares. I mean, if there's a creepy guy over there, just get over it and just don't pay attention to them. Get some beats, honestly, because then they like cup around your ears and just makes you look unapproachable. And sometimes that's a good thing. So get into the gym. Don't be afraid to try hard. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, or you can email me. There are a lot of things I don't know, so I will answer whatever I can, but if I don't know the answer, I will find a good resource for you. I'll try to explain it myself and also give you the resource so that you can look into it yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you have a new year ahead of you full of gains and happiness. Bye.
Doing it right. Everybody will be dancing and we feeling it right. Everybody will be dancing and be doing it right. Everybody will be dancing when we're feeling alright. Everybody will be dancing tonight.
For we're lost in the crowd, for it gets too loud.